This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name is Benwe. Don't forget to subscribe. Alpha. It's okay. This is a strong Man U fan. Versus Zurich. A win for both, automatic qualify. A draw, also qualify. Go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name remains Benwe. Please don't forget to subscribe. The teams with the biggest fan zone in the world, Chelsea versus Manchester United. They're about to start their match. And it has been a lot of talking between the fans, Manchester fans and Chelsea fans. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
Live commentary and analysis of the Female World Cup, 2023 Female World Cup going on in New Zealand and Australia. And on today's commentary, we have Spain, who are going head-to-head with their fellow European counterpart, talking about the Swedish ladies for the first semi-final of this year's Female World Cup. The match is being played at Eden Park in Auckland, New Zealand. We'll be giving you all analysis for this game for the next 90 minutes. And if there's extra times or possibly penalty shootout, we'll be here to give you timely analysis of everything happening, talking about the ball possession, which team is carrying all the best attack, which team is actually defending. Trust us to give you all of these interesting updates as the match goes on, so you can watch along with us. My name is Adeyemi Shegu, and I'll be your host for today's edition. But I'm not in the studio alone, as I have with me the gaffer talking about Solomon. Good morning, Solomon.
Yeah, Shegu, thanks for having me today. And the semi-finals, at last, we have seen the 4 best female football teams so far. Sweden, Spain, Australia, and England. You know, today is the first semi-final, and that is Spain versus Sweden. We're expecting a showdown today. We're expecting a very spectacular match today. We're expecting to see the best of football today, given the fact that these 2 teams have proven themselves so far. And I want to salute Spain also, despite all the controversies they are having, despite dropping 15 players on Thursday. They staged a mutiny against the coach, demanding the step down of the coach. And here they are in the semi-final. Nobody knows what the result will be. But so far, so good. We're expecting a very tough match today. Yeah,
no, so far, so good. We're expecting a very tough match today. And if there's one team that has been defensive and good with defensive record on this Female World Cup, it is actually the Swedish ladies. The Spanish ladies are also known, they are known for scoring a lot of goals. Let's see how this game is going to pile out between an attacking, infused Spanish team and against a defensive-centric Swedish team. We saw both teams from the group stage and down to the semi-finals. How you rate both teams?
But I want to give it to both team. You know, for the Spain side, I think it was the verge of that controversies in the camp they had. That was when they lost. A lot of us were asking that very day. Remember, I was saying what went wrong with the Spain side, the La Roja, as they called it. What went wrong? None of us knew what went wrong. But behind, they dropped 15 players, including the Ballon d'Or winner, who that protested and wrote a letter against the coach.
Well, that was before the World Cup.
Yeah, that was before the World Cup.
That was way back before the World Cup.
Yeah,
because you are coming to the World Cup with 24 players, so there's no way you're dropping 15 players at the World Cup. That was way back.
When they dropped the players, and we thought maybe they would not get to this stage, but despite that fact, they were able to reconcile all their differences, and here they are today, representing Spain, and giving good accounts of themselves. You know, at the point they lost to Japan, I was asking what actually happened, but we discovered that most of them, they were bored, they were not happy, and today we are seeing them with Spain, one of the best female sides. Spain, this is their fourth semi-final so far. You know, this is the fourth time they are getting to
Sweden.
Yeah, Sweden. This is the third time they are getting to the semi-final. And we expect them, they are matured enough to win because they are third rank in the world. So I think this is an opportunity for them to win the World Cup. They've tried everything, get to the semi-final, and they will be out. But this time around, I expect them to win the semi-final.
Yeah, well, this time around we expect them to be in the final and lay claims for the trophy because they've always been, a near team. But now without the favorites and the usual suspect, talking about Norway, Japan, USA, and Germany, Sweden are looking like the best placed team with the experience to actually go forward to win this trophy. Well, we are here for the next 90 minutes, which is going to judge which team is going to be in the final of the Female World Cup. And don't forget, these Spanish ladies, they are the current defending champion of the Under-17 Female World Cup. They're the champions of the Under-20 Female World Cup. And they want to complete, a year of having all the female accolades. You can't just give it to them. The planning is there. You look at the players, you see the way they play. You understand why the Spanish ladies are good goal scorers in this competition. Don't forget, we saw their group stages. We saw the matches played in the group stage by Spain and Sweden, interesting games, magnificent game from both teams during the group stage.
During the group stage, it was very good. We saw Spain played against Costa Rica. They defeated Costa Rica 3-0 in that match. They defeated Zambia 5-0, but they only lost to Japan. Japan defeated them 4-0. And that was the group stage. And they went ahead to defeat Switzerland 5-1. That is the round of 16. And also defeated
Netherlands, another high-scoring team in the extra time.
Extra time, 2-1, and they are here today. That means they've had good record, apart from when they were lacking. And for the Swedish side, it is one.
And that's Sweden with the first attack of the game. That's what they're going to make out of it. Will it be the first goal? But the Spanish defenders were able to cut that out, and it's still Sweden who are still trying to attack the Spanish defense. Sweden they've actually grown into this game very much early. And they are not giving the Spanish opponents any other chance. But the Spanish goalkeeper had that ball covered. And don't forget, you can be a part of this conversation by dropping your message in our live chat. And we promise you it will be read out. And you can also drop your prediction for this match. I'll get back to you, Solomon.
All right, when we talk about the Swedish side, they played against South Africa. It was 2-1. They won against South Africa. Then they played against Italy. They demolished Italy 5-0. And against Argentina, they defeated Argentina 2-0. Then they defeated USA, the almighty USA, the 4 times winner of the World Cup. But it was through penalty, just like the way they played against Nigeria, England and Nigeria. Yeah, so it was goalless, and they went to penalty. And Sweden took the day. Then Sweden also defeated Japan, one of the tournament favorites. And in fact, what Japan was playing, but they were able to bring in some tactical brilliance against the Japanese side for them to be able to defeat Japan. And they defeated Japan in that match 2-1 against all expectations. And here they are today. Nobody knows what's going to happen today. Spain stands as one of the favorites, and let's see how it goes.
Okay, let's see how it goes. But once it is certain, this match promises to be an interesting match. I'll straight to both team lineup. Sorry, Spain are starting out in a 4-3-3 formation with the goalkeeper Katakol in goal, and the 4 defenders we have Ona Brati, Irene Paredes, Lala Cordina, and Olga Carmona. In midfield, Spain are playing with 3 midfielders, we have the the world best player talking about Alexia Putellas will be leading out with Altana Bomati and Teresa Abeleria. And in forward we have Mariona Caldenti, we have Jennifer Emoso and Haba Redodo. We saw Redodo in the group stage. She's a fantastic player. The Levante player came in from the bench and gave Spain 2 goals against South Africa, if I'm not mistaken. She gave a good account of herself in the group stage. I think she's actually worth starting this game.
Oh, that is one of the players we need to watch out for. Rondondo, right now she has 3 goals. And she stand an opportunity to be one of the top scorers because the leader got top scorer chart is Moizawa of the Japan, and they are out. And Pop is also out with 4 goals. Moizawa is having 5 goals, and she's having 3, and still in the tournament. She still has 2 matches to play. With 3 goals, she definitely go top, and she looks good. And if you look at the rate of her assists too, it's very, very, very high. So we expect to see more of her in this very tournament. She has proven herself throughout the course of the group stage, the round of 16, and the semi-final right now. We expect to see more of her.
Okay, we expect to see more of Redondo. And don't forget, she'll be playing. She's actually starting this game, and let's see if she will be able to add 3 goals tally in this competition. She's also a good player, one of the suspects to actually win the golden boots of this competition. Yeah. So it's 90 minutes of extra time to let us see if she can actually add or break this Swedish defense. It will be very much interesting for us. And right now we are approaching the 7th minute, and Spain were actually dominating play right now. That is never an issue for Spain. When Spain plays both the male and female team, they know how to dominate and pass the ball around. And scoring is never a problem for them. Let's just see how easy it's going to be for them to break this Swedish defense and straight to the Swedish starting 11. Sweden are playing with a 4-5-1 formation with Zakira Musovic in goal post. In defense, we have Jonah Andersson, Magdalene Eriksson, we have Amada Ilistic, and we have Natalie Borjon. In midfield, we have Kosavari Aslani, we have Flipper Angel Dye, we have Fridolina Ruffo, Joanna Kennerid, and Ellen Rubenstein. While up front, we have the Arsenal striker, Stina Blackstenius. And the Swedish top scorer in this competition is actually a defender, Amada Ilistic. She has 3 goals in this competition.
Of course, that is to tell you how brilliant she is when it comes to defending. And she has been defending very well, both as a defender, both up front, when they have the opportunity, when they studied the game, and there is demand for her to move from the defense line to the forward line. Because not every kind of game, a defender can have that free flow to move. But for a defender to score 3 goals, that's to tell you that she understands the game, and she knows when to move forward and also stay behind to defend.
Okay, talking about the top scorers in this female World Cup, we have Miyazawa Inata, the Japanese striker, has 5 goals and 1 assist in this competition. Well, don't forget, Japan are already out of this competition. Second, we have Kadidatu Diani of France, who are also out. She has 4 goals and 2 assists. I'm sorry about the Amanda Ilicic. She's from Sweden. She has 4 goals, not 3 goals, as I mentioned. 4 goals, 1 assist. Yes. No. Amanda Ilicic. Yes. She has 4 goals, 1 assist. That is good for a central defender, being the top scorer for your team, right from playing in the center back. But you have to know there's one advantage for the Spanish. It is how much they use their head. They are very good with the crosses, and they connect very well and make use of their set pieces. So that is one angle the Spanish ladies needs to be careful not to allow the Swedish girls, have that advantage over them. Okay, away from Amanda, we have Alexandra Pop of Germany, who is also out, but she has 4 goals and 0 assists in this competition. Another player who is out is Jill Rodd of Netherlands. She has 4 goals, 0 assists. And we have the suspended Laura James of England, who has 3 goals and 3 assists. She'll be back for the final or 3rd place. Any of the 2 England actually qualify for, she'll be there. And we also have a Spaniard there, Atina Bomati. She has 3 goals, 2 assists. We have Harry Buggs of Brazil, who is also out. She has 3 goals, 1 assist. Another Spanish player here is Alba Redondo, who has 3 goals, 1 assist. And we have another Spanish player, Jenny Hermoso, who has 3 goals, 1 assist. That's about 3 to 4 Spanish players, that that means we have about one has 4 goals, one has 3 goals. No, the 3 of them has 3 goals. There's 9 goals between 3 players. It shows how high scoring these Spanish ladies can be. And it's justifiable. We've seen the results in this competition. The only lowest result they had was losing 4-0 to Japan and playing 2-1 against Netherlands. Those were the games they didn't score as high as they've always scored. But others we've seen, it has always been a whitewash against the opponent.
Yeah, there's always been a whitewash against the names you just scored so far. Let's quickly take a look at them. Amanda Ellis, she plays for Arsenal women, and she's age 30. And you know, she's a defender, like you said, and for us to score against Sweden, also scored against the Italy side. She scored 2 goals against the Italians. Yeah. You know, and that should have been the first goal. It's
the Spain who are still trying to attack, but the Swedish ladies were able to clear their line as early as possible. We are approaching the 11th minute of this game, and Spain 0, Sweden 0. Lot of actions, you know, we've seen a lot of actions within this 11 minutes. Both teams actually trying to break each other, but the Swedish ladies are so compact at the back. But you know, you have to give it to the Spanish attacking instincts. You know, they are always calm with their ball. They don't rush themselves. They bring the ball to you, you know, as good as possible. But you know, we saw the Swedish against the United States of America. Though some might argue that this is not the best United States of America team we saw at this competition, but we saw how compact the Swedish girls were. And if that was going to be like a fluke, we saw the Swedish against Japan. You know, they didn't allow Japan their free flow of football, the way they love playing it. They were so aggressive against the Japanese lady. Yeah. And fortunately for them, they got the victory that got them to the semi-final. I know they'll be looking like they can also get the victory here against Spain. How realistic is that for them to get it?
Of course, it is real. It is certain. It is certain to some extent. Because when you look at them defensively, I think they stand one of the most defensive team because they recorded lesser goals. They're one of the top team that recorded lesser goals, considered lesser goals. And talk about their experience and their midfield is compact. Their flow of football is also good, just like the La Roja girls. You know, what you have to give to them is that they study every match. I want to give it to the coach, Peter Hudson. I think he has been a good coach so far. He's been able to study every match despite the strength of the team. For you to defeat Japan, defeat the likes of the USA, is to tell you how good they are. Because you must have studied a lot before you come out. The Spaniard side is one of the strongest teams right now as it stands. But the way it's going now, you can see from the midfield, the way they are taking on the Spaniard side, they are holding them. And if you look at their back line, it's excellent. Their positioning is excellent. And it will take the La Roja a lot before they can score this now. Yes, you see there in the 18 box.
Oh, yes, that's Spain will be taking a shot. Oh, that's way off the target. And talking about the Swedish goalkeeper, talking about Musovic, you know, she'll be facing so much shots today. And don't forget, she has only considered 1 goal in this competition. How important has she been for the Swedish ladies?
She has been so fantastic. She has been instrumental to the Swedish lady because she has saved a lot of goals, and that is why she is one of those with the highest clean sheet in this tournament right now as it stands. And we expect to see more of her. If she can keep it against the Spanish side, I think it will add to her record, and she will stand as one of the favorites to win the hand glove. What do they call it?
Yeah, the golden ball. Well, golden glove.
The golden glove. She will stand as one of the favorites to win the golden glove because she's instrumental. That she makes the defense solid because she always has impact in terms of controlling position.
And that's Sweden trying to take one from the wing, and let's see if they're going to make a cross. But she chooses to go back to the center of the field, and that's finally the cross is coming in. Would that be the first goal for Sweden? But for the Chelsea player, RJK was actually wayward, and it's Spain with a goal kick. Will have the opportunity to restart the game from back. And that was a fantastic play from the Swedish ladies. The Spanish ladies are trying to keep a high line offside trap, but they have to be careful with keeping this type of offside trap. And you can see Kaynard was almost getting Sweden the first goal in this game. We are approaching 15 minutes already in this game. It is 0-0 between both teams. And don't forget, the woman with the whistle in the center of the field is Eldina Alves Batista, the Brazilian. She has actually, you know, her referee career statistics shows that she has been refereeing in the Brazilian Brasileiro Serie A. She has refereed in 38 games, and she has shown red cards 10 times, and she has given up penalty 9 times. In the World Championship, she has refereed 7 times. In the Brasileiro Serie B, she has ref 2 times, and she has ref at the Olympics game twice. The experience is there for this referee, and don't forget she's a soil collector also.
All right, that's a very good statistics for her. She tries to show how good she is, and for the 10 red card, I think it's not bad. It's a good one, definitely, because you must have a lot of players.
Yeah.
At the point in time they will lost their head and they begin to misbehave. Even the best of players, sometimes when you frustrate them, when you didn't give them that opportunity to do what they are known for, they get frustrated. We saw that against Nigeria versus England. We saw Lauren James. We saw she lost her head, and it was not like she lost her. Sometimes it was just like it was like to her. It was like I was joking with my friend. But in football, that is not done. She just match, but it was, so some, they would judge it to be something serious, but it is the game, we have to take it. So sometimes they lost their head, and a referee must do justice to that. That's why she is there. And remember, we have been talking about the officiating in this tournament. To me, it is one of the best officiating I've ever seen. So that's to tell you that women are better referees than men. That's just this interpretation of it. Women are better.
You can't just say better than men. You're using the EPL now to generalize, because that's why we have more. That's why we have more controversy.
In La Liga, we saw the match. Getafe versus Barcelona. We were here. We were complaining of the officiating too. I observed 2 to 3 errors blown by the referees. Not just in England. It is everywhere. But here, I have not seen any officiating that I want to complain. In fact, it has been excellent all through. That's why I'm saying I want to conclude that women are better referees than men. We can argue about that, and I know there are people who want to argue with it, but we can come up with it, and but maybe in the next episode, not this one, we don't have enough.
Okay, you have to give it to the female referees. Now, the FIFA Women's World Cup, they've actually been top notch, no doubt. They have been out of controversies. We've not had controversial issues at this FIFA Women's World Cup. Sorry, I don't know why I keep on calling the Female World Cup. We are approaching the 18th minute of this game, and it has been Spain all through, with Spain leading the ball possession. They're having a better share of ball possession, with 70% of the ball possession in their own half, and while Sweden has just 30% of the ball possession. Both teams have 0 shots on target. It shows how good and how hard it is to break each other defense. And in passes completed, Spain, like always, they've completed 137 passes, while Sweden have completed just 58 passes. That is one thing about Spain. They know how to dominate play very early in the game. They tire out their opponents, which is one tactics that's actually been working for them, except when they face off against the Japanese, who had a lot of energy in them.
It's very difficult for you to play with Spain, be you any country, that they will not dominate possession, because it is their style of game. Possession is part of their game, and the nature of their play, the tiki-taka system, you see it flows in Barcelona and in some Spanish team. We see it in their men senior team, and we are seeing it in the female too. The tiki-taka, they are always holding on to the ball. Their hold-up play is always excellent. You give it 80% to them, and it is from that possession that they create chances to score. And one thing about them, you also give it to them when they come to accuracy in passing, accuracy in linking ball passes. But one thing they need to improve on is for them to be clinical in front of goal. That is one thing that they need to improve on. If they are clinical in front of goal, then I don't think there's anything that can stand them in the whole world. Okay, we don't think there's anything that can stand them in the whole world. If they are clinical in front of goal, don't forget you can be a part of this conversation by dropping in your take in our live chat segment. And we are approaching the 20th minute of this game. It's still Spain 0, Sweden 0. And Spain were actually doing most of the talking in the middle of the park. We've seen Spain, they've actually dominated the opening 20 minutes of this game. How important is it for them to get that opening goal in this game? It's good for their confidence. Getting a goal now is good for their confidence. I think it will boost their confidence and will make them to believe. Right now, I'm very sure that these two teams, they don't even know who will win. If you ask anybody to predict it, it's in a very tight corner to predict right now, because the two sides are good. Now, you will definitely bank on errors, defensive errors, to get your goal. And you will also bank on being clinical to get goals. And you will also bank on good link-up plays to get goals. Yeah. So both teams are good when it comes to those areas. Both teams are good. So for the Spaniards side, I want to say, okay, actually they are actually taking possession, but I also want to give it to the Swedish side because they are waiting for any moment of counter and use it against the Spanish side. And if you look at the goal attempt so far, it is the Swedish who have had more, right?
Yeah, they've had more shots, not goal attempts. None of them has shot on target.
More shot on goal than
and that shot on goal is just one. Total shot is just one. No. Spain has one shot on goal, one shot that is off target, while Sweden are yet to have a shot on target.
Okay.
But the possession is actually changing right now. You can see the Swedish are actually growing into the game. It's now Spain who has 67% share of the ball possession, while Sweden has 33% share of the ball possession. While we are currently in the 21st minute, approaching 22 minutes. How will you rate both teams for this past 22 minutes? Who has settled well into this game?
If you talk about the settlement, I know the Spanish side, they're not really settled. But what they are doing, they took possession because it is their style of game. But I want to give the confidence of the Swedish side because they look psychologically balanced from the midfield to the defense, and they know what to do at every moment. Swedish threaten and attack. They know the right position, the right person to move, who not to move, who to watch. They are composed from the midfield to the defense. So I want to give it to both of them, but one of these qualities may just work out for the both sides.
Do you see this match going straight to extra time, or it's going to end within 90 minutes?
Well, I see a goal coming in this somebody scoring, but I don't know.
In the first half or in the second half?
In the game, both first half and second. Somebody scoring, but I don't know whether it will be the other team will equalize. But there will be goal in this team.
Surely be. He's saying, Solomon is saying there will surely be goal in this game, and we are approaching the 23rd minute. It's Sweden who has a throw-in deep in the Spanish half of the field, and Spain who are actually trying to control the game as they got the ball back to their goalkeeper, who is going to play one or two, which she's very confident with the ball out of feet, and that is a typical Spanish style of play. And they are already trying to build their attack from behind and closing into the Swedish half, and they finally made it to the Swedish half. And let's see what they are going to make out of this. Defensively, Sweden they've not looked down defensively, and that is why they've just conceded one goal in this competition, and why their top scorer is Amanda, who is also a defender.
Yeah. Amanda, who is also a defender. That's early start. Amanda, who is also a defender. That is good for her. She, tries to tell you that the defense is in control. That's what it says. But for Amanda, who has scored.
And that's with Spain with the first chance. With the first chance of this game, will it bleed to their first shot on target? And Leslie does a good pass, but Sweden defense had that covered, and Sweden were trying to clear their lines right now, and they were able to clear it to a throw-in, and it's advantage Spain right now with a throw-in there. And that was Rofo who got to save that at the back. And that was one against the run of play. That was a good pass there from to Rondodo, but Emoso couldn't just keep that at her feet, and she gave that away to the Swedish. How important is it for one of this or both of this team to try and get that first goal in this first half?
Getting the goal will actually change the face of the game. You know what I'm saying? Getting the goal either side will change the face of this game, and that is where you begin to see, frustration coming in, and that's where you begin to see coaches trying to urgently interpret the tactical, this they brought to this tournament. Because right now you don't need anytime you say, let me watch, let me study. No, bring the best. This is the semi-final. It is not time for wasting time. There's no time there's no time. Just go ahead and get that goal. If you want to fall back, you can fall back. Already you have gotten that goal.
Okay, already they have gotten that goal. That shows how important it is for either of this team to get a goal in this game. It's really a matchup between an attacking centric Spanish team and the defensive centric Swedish team. When it comes to defending, the Swedish are very good at that, and that is why they've considered just one goal in this competition, and you have to give it to the goalkeeper Mustovic, who is also the second choice goalkeeper at Chelsea. I'm very sure after this World Cup, she'll be laying a claim to the first team jersey. Looking at that, even the first choice goalkeeper was the second choice goalkeeper for Germany in this competition. So we'd like to see if Musovic will actually be Chelsea first choice goalkeeper going into next season. But you have to look at the squad depth at Chelsea, and that is why they've actually dominated play and the competition in the WSL, and that is the Women's Super League in England. Chelsea are currently the defending champion, and they've won it back to back to back. Fantastic team.
It's good for our profile, considering one goal in how many matches so far?
We've played, we've seen, this is 6 matches.
Considering one goal, and it's not that you just play with another team, you play with big teams. Teams like Japan, she got a clean sheet.
She had 11 saves against the United States of America.
11 saves.
So it's showing that it's not just a fluke. She's actually a very good goalkeeper in this competition. She came to this competition with a good form, and it's actually telling and rubbing on her players, on her teammates. Sorry, you can see how much they actually rely on her. We saw the penalty shootout against United States of America. She came in there with all her best, and she was able to push the last penalty by the United States of America onto the bar. So she's actually, a very good, reliable player for the Swedish national team.
So she will actually, upgrade her profile, and it is good for her professional football, and she will be reconsidered even in Chelsea. She will be reconsidered. We will be given more opportunity. Probably will begin to wonder.
And that's where the first chance of this game, but the pass was overweight, and the Spanish goalkeeper Cali had that covered, and that was an overweighted pass from Angelina or Angel there.
So another thing you have to see with what happened just now, you see the quick recovery rate of the Spaniard side.
Yeah.
Immediately they are countered. You see, they have this defender also have space. They were able to cover up immediately, and it is good for them. It is good for them.
Well, from what we've seen for the past 27 minutes, we've seen a game whereby Sweden are actually trying to frustrate the Spanish. They are not allowing them to have that close, and you can see the ball possession right now. It's Spain who are having, the lion's share of ball possession. This is Spain with another attack. Let's see this be the first goal, and it's to Spain. But Sweden were able to clear their lines. We've seen a lot of balls into the Swedish into the Swedish defense. But they've actually been clearing their lines. How dangerous is all these balls coming into this Swedish defense?
Well, it's a very dangerous ball, and it is one kind of ball that every team will try to avoid as much as possible. The reason being that the more you allow those kind of balls into the 18 box, the more dangerous they be. And there can be, like I said, this kind of game. The only reason why you score may be a defensive error, but the moment you allow plays into your 18 box, you are creating chances. So one of these may just be goal if it continues.
Okay,
because it's an opportunity, because you are creating
that's
chances.
an infringement on the Spanish player, and Spain will be having a free kick. And talking about that crossing, Natalie John has to do a lot of work on her right side of the defense, because that has actually been where Spain have been finding joy in this game. She really has to be careful so they don't concede one unnecessary or one goal of it happened in the game between Norway and Japan, because when I watched that game, I was feeling like Norway were the reason why they actually went out of this competition, because they gave out unnecessary back passes, which led to Japan goals. We are approaching the 29th minute already of this game, and still Spain 0, Sweden 0.
Yeah, talking about the Norwegians is actually because we know their record. They are one of the World Cup winners.
Yeah,
and right now, as it stands, there is no World Cup winner again. They are all out.
Yeah, at the end of the one thing is certain at the end of this competition, we'll have a new World Cup winner.
A new World Cup winner, and that will be good for the tournament, because we have seen it that none of the World Cup winners got to the semi-finals. I'd like to tell you that it's not as usual. It's not a game as usual. That the girls are becoming women these days, and they are ready to take over the stage of the football, and that's what we get. And for the Norwegians, it's just unfortunate that they were not able to hold on and get that victory. But you also give it to the brilliance of those we are seeing right here.
Okay, we have to give it to the brilliance of the ladies we are seeing here, talking about the Spanish and the Swedish team. They've actually held their own for the past 30 minutes, and we're currently approaching the 30th minute, and that is the first quarter of this game. It's still 0-0 between Spain and Sweden, and don't forget, you can drop your comments in our live chat. We'll read it out on air. And don't also forget to subscribe to our channel. Yes, please, that is very much important. Help us subscribe to our channel and follow us for interesting match updates. And don't forget, we'll be here tomorrow morning to also give you live commentaries from the game between Australia and England. It's going to be Sam Kerr against Lauren James. Lauren James won't be playing, but Sam Kerr will be facing, against familiar foes, familiar teammates, and a captain, talking about Millie Bright for England. That game promises to be an interesting one tomorrow. So by the end of tomorrow's match, we will know who's making it to the final. But once on the setting, one of these teams is actually going to win this competition. Who are you tilting towards to win this competition?
Wow. It's a very difficult decision to make right now because the 4 teams present there, they are good. They actually look good. But the only team that looks suspicious to me is the England side. The England side, I think they are good. I expected them to be better than what I'm seeing. For the England side, I think for them, if they survive against Australia today, that means
is it today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow, sorry, against Australia tomorrow. That means they are lucky. You understand?
Okay.
That means they'll be lucky.
Oh, we saw Nigeria in the group stage, defeated Australia.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why I was of the belief that I would have preferred Nigeria top in the group. But if Nigeria top that group, and we actually face a team like France in the quarterfinal, what will have been our chances against France?
Nigeria will have defeated France. Nigeria will have defeated, though France was good, given the fact they had a very good coach also.
Renard.
Yeah, Renard, yeah. He had a very good coach who has his own good method of coaching, and he has actually brought the girl to another level of playing football. But I still believe that our guys were also good. They were better than them. They would have done better, and I'm sure they would have won against France. But it's unfortunate that we didn't play France because England would play, and we were unlucky. And let me see, we were unlucky one. And when it comes to penalty, it's nobody's game. And we saw the kind of penalty Alozie played. And you said it's almost getting to the national stadium.
They are still looking for that ball.
And somebody responded that it's almost passing the national stadium, and it was something else. And the first penalty, was a good penalty, but was not inside. Didn't get in, and that is where the coach would have chosen the best penalty takers first. You know what I'm saying? The best penalty takers first, because England already missed the first one. It was an opportunity for the Super Falcons. But unfortunately, we lost it. So anyway, we are not among the semi-finalists. They are here, and they are the people we are talking about. And it is Spain versus Sweden, and the match is eating up. And the way it is going, Spain look good when it comes to flowing football. They flow their football. They pass their ball accurately. Now, what they need is link up play with the midfielders and the striker. To get that goal. And if they are clinical. But if you look at the line, from the midfield to the defensive midfielders to the defenders, they know their lines, and they make it so difficult for the Spanish to defend.
And yes, Spain has a wicked free kick deep in the half of the Swedish. Let's see what they get to make of this, and they take the corner kick, and it is the Swedish ladies who are trying to clear their lines, but it's still Spain who are attacking, and she got one over a man. Would that be the first goal? And that was a good defensive nodding from the Swedish defender, and Spain kept the ball in play, and it's going to be a Spain corner kick. How dangerous has the Spanish be with their set pieces?
They've been dangerous. They've been brilliant. It's not all teams that can hold them like this. We also have to give it to the brilliance of the defense of the Swedish side and their defensive midfielder. They have been doing great job here, and they have been holding the Spanish side. The Spaniards have the move, they have the possession, and they have good players, individual. When it comes to individual play, they are also brilliant. And that is why you see the pressure now is on Sweden in the past 5 minutes.
That be the first goal, but no, it went just beyond that. And Sweden were trying to clear their lines, and they are actually trying to counter the Spanish ladies. But you will always know Spain for one thing in this competition. It is their recovery rate. Yeah. They recover within 8 seconds of losing the ball, and that is very fantastic and impressive about a team. And talking about the African representatives at this competition, against all doubts, they gave us a good outing at this competition. Even Zambia, that lost out in the group stage, gave a good account of themselves We have fantastic players from teams like Morocco, Nigeria, and South Africa who all made it to the second round, but we couldn't find our way out of the second round. But you have to give it to the results we got from the girls in the second round. Nigeria gave a good account of themselves, held the European champion, talking about England, down to the penalty shootouts. And just yesterday, they were received back in Nigeria here by the first lady. That's the wife of the president and the wife of the vice president. How do you think that is going to be, a big boost and a big morale going forward to the girls? Because we saw a lot of the girls yesterday at the Aso Rock, and we're happy meeting with the first lady for the first time.
Yeah. That is the excellent one. That is a good one. They need to be celebrated because they actually did Nigerian proud. They didn't disgrace us. They did Nigerian proud because this is the first time you win somebody, and I look satisfied. You win the Nigerian side, but I look satisfied. But I also, like I said before, Ryan Wadron, he deserved a presidential handshake. Because he did very well, and I would have wished him to continue with the Super Falcons if the NFF would give him that chance, the opportunity to do that. But
you don't make me laugh. I saw a John Ogu post, that's the former Super Eagles player, after the Nigeria-England game, and he was tweeting that NFF should give Randy Waldron the Super Eagles.
Yeah, I saw it. It's a very good suggestion. I saw it too. And I was looking at it and said, this man is making sense.
Yeah, it's very much possible because I remember Joe Bonfrey coming in as a female coach when he came to Nigeria in 1991. He came in as a female coach, and after the 1991 World Cup, he was appointed as the next Super Eagles coach, and he led the Super Eagles to the 94 World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, it's something that is very much possible, and let us see if it's going to be Randy Waldron will be coaching the male team, but I don't think he has that experience to actually coach a male team.
Is it not the same technical brilliance? Is it not the same?
That is the Swedish trying to break through this Spanish defense, but they're always finding it hard. Defensively, both teams has actually been top notch for the past 37 minutes. And it's going to be, a work it's going to be a hard work for both of them to actually find a way to break each other. It's going to take a tactical, and intelligence and brilliance to actually break each other at the back, because they are both looking strong at the back.
They are both looking strong at the back, and that is why you get a good team. And that is one reason why I salute the Super Falcons, because they have started on a very good note. That is to say, building your defense, and that is what has brought these two teams this far. You know what I'm saying? That is what has brought these two teams this far. Good defense. When you have a good defense, you win tournaments. And that is what these two teams have, and you can't take it from Sweden because they have been tested, they have been tried, and they have been tested, and that is why they are still moving. That is what has kept them from considering a goal in this match, because the pressure the Spanish side are giving to the Swedish side is a high pressure, but they are able to soak it. They are able to soak it with their intelligence when it comes to defense, and you see the Spanish side now. What did they do?
Oh, that was wayward, and they couldn't get a goal. They couldn't get a shot on target from that. But both teams, this game has been even, no doubts.
Yeah. It has been even when it comes to the technical interpretation. It has been good when it comes to experience. I would say the Spaniards are more exposed than the Swedish side, but the Swedish side are more exposed because they have gotten to 3 semi-finals. And the England, this is their first semi-final. They have not gotten to the semi-final stage. Spain. They have not gotten to the semi-final stage before. This is their first time they will get to the semi-final, the Spanish side. But the Swedish side have gotten to the semi-final.
Yeah, they've gotten to the final also.
Semi-final 3 times. So when it comes to experience, the Swedish should be more when it comes to experience, because they have experience.
And you can see most of their players are actually playing for the big team, just like the Spanish team also, and that is why this game is actually even. Because we have a player like Anderson who plays in England. We have what's it called, Ilicic, who also plays for Arsenal. Yeah. We have Eriksen, who has played for Chelsea. We have Musovic, who plays for Chelsea. We have Aslinia, who plays for Juventus in the Italian Serie A. And let's go to the goal scores in this competition. We have 154 goals being scored already in the FIFA 2023 World Cup, which means they've actually surpassed the 146 scored in 2019 at France. A lot of goals in this competition.
Starting this World Cup, we thought they're not going to score much goals, but as the tournament gradually progresses, we started seeing goals at the point. The highest they've scored so far in a single match Is it not?
I think 6-0, 6-0. That was between Germany and our sisters Morocco.
Morocco, 6-0. So 6-0. I think that's the highest they got so far. And we also saw 5-1. That is 6 goals that in one match. So I think it has been high to some level, but not to all teams. And so you see 1-0, 2-0. And to me, it's a good one. And probably we are going to get up to 160 at the end of it.
Yeah, that's we are surely going to get up to 160 because there's still a lot of. We still have about three matches to play in this competition. So we'll actually be breaking that 160. Don't forget, this is still the highest goal in the FIFA Female World Cup, 156 goals. And this is just the first semi-final where we are yet to see a goal. You know, that is a good record for this year competition. And don't forget, for the first time, we had 32 teams compete in the FIFA Female World Cup. So, you know, lot of expectations going forward. And don't forget, the Paris 2024 is around the corner. What are your expectations for the female football competition? Because I'm very much interested in that by the time we are going to the Paris Olympics.
You know, talking about the female World Cup now, it's beginning to gain momentum. This World Cup, this female World Cup is an eye-opener. Everybody has now seen it. In fact, time to come, a lot of people prefer to watch the female World Cup than the men. What we saw in this World Cup, the attendance is record-breaking. It's record-breaking. They've not had it before in the history of female World Cup. And if you talk about the view also, we've not had it before. And if you talk about a chance for Sweden, what they say from the goalkeeper, you know, we've not had it before. No. And if you talk about the quality of play, it's top-notch. And if you talk about countries that are waking up, meeting up to the level, they are much. Talking about the African countries, this is the first time we saw 3 African countries qualify from the group stage. Their destination was group stage before. They end up in the group stage, but here we saw 3 African nations: Nigeria, South Africa, and Morocco. They qualified. They went above. They qualified for the round of 16. And here we are getting quality play, and here a lot of heroes, Iranians, let me say, they are beginning to rise up. So time is coming that the Women World Cup will be more popular than the men.
Okay, time is coming that the FIFA World Cup is going to be more popular than the Men's World Cup that is coming from Solomon. But I don't want to believe that the Female World Cup will be popular than the Male World Cup, because we know how much the Male World Cup, actually brings in. And talking about money, a lot of money is for these girls already. They are playing the semi-final. We are talking about $120,000 already for these girls. A lot of money,
That's a lot of money, and that is one of the encouragement there. And it's good when you are,
we not lose today. They are having 100. We not lose. They are having $120,000. A lot of money.
I wish it was a small factor. You will just come back, or you not even worry. You will not bother about the government. You will not bother what the NFF will give to you, because you have enough. And probably that's what the NFF are calculating. Look at these guys. You go and collect this kind of money, and you want to come and disturb us again. Talk about at the point we are being tempted by the money they are going to get. But it's good for them.
We have a Sweden corner, and we know how dangerous Sweden has been with corner kicks and set pieces in this competition. Let's see if they are going to turn in that late into the game, because we are in the 43rd minute, approaching 44th minute of regulation time. That means we have just 2 more minutes to play in first half regulation time. How many minutes do you think the ref is going to add?
There have not been much injury. Probably we'll be adding 4-5 minutes to this, or 3, 4, 5. There's no much.
And that's Spain. That's Sweden taking their corner kick. Spain has that covered. And Spain were able to clear their lines. That was looking like a miss-hit within the back line of the Spanish ladies there. And that was a good corner kick, from Sweden. Wow, she just didn't get. She couldn't connect with that ball very well. And that is where, Sweden. This might just be a chance for Sweden, but she lost that. And it's out of Spain danger zone, and that's Spain trying to initiate one last attack in this first half. And let's see what they're going to make out of that. It's still Spain, but Sweden were able to recover that ball very fast. And you can see the recovery rate from both teams. It has actually been top notch, and you can see the ball recovery on our screen. Spain recovers the ball within 8 seconds, while Sweden recovers within 18 seconds. Just 10 seconds in between them. But that's, that is an impressive one. At least we saw our African sisters, Zambia, with their recovery rate at 52 seconds, which is showing that for every 1 minute of the game, they are not with the ball at their feet.
I want to give it to the Spanish side. We talked about it before.
And it's just 1 minute additional time.
1 minute. Okay, we talked about it. The recovery rate. And it's reflecting here now, 8 seconds.
8 seconds for Spain.
8 seconds for Spain.
8 seconds for...
That is fast. That is very fast. And we talked about it before even the statistics came out. We are so impressed with that. And it's a good one. And for the Swedish side too, they also have a very fast one. That shows why they are here. That shows why they are here in the semi-finals. That actually helped them to bring them to those rounds.
And that's why they are here in the competition. That's why they are playing in the semi-finals. If you are not good, you can be a fluke and get yourself to this stage of the competition. It shows how good you are. You can see it. That is why we are here to see a lot of goals from this competition. And we are approaching the final whistle. Any moment from now, we'll be seeing the final whistle for the first half, being blown. How will you rate the referees so far?
Oh, it's top notch. The referees, the female referees, in fact, I'm in love with all of them. I'm in love with them because they do justice. They are fair. They are accurate. Even the ones that got it wrong, the VAR will call their attention and they will respond and they will correct it. All the complaints I had, I been complaining before. The VAR will call and they will correct it, and they have been accurate and they have been consistent with the fairness in this.
Okay, the referee has been fair, and fire went down. Solomon was talking. The referee actually blown the whistle which brought the game to the halftime. Whereby the players will be going to the dressing room to have a 15-minute break. It has been an eventful first half. A game being played by both teams in the middle of the park. And let's see straight to the ball possession, where Spain had a better share of ball possession with 67%, while Sweden has 33% of ball possession. Total shots, Spain has 3, Sweden has 2. Shots on target, Spain has 0, Sweden has 1, while Spain had 3 shots off target and Sweden having just 1 shot off target. Total pass completed, Spain has 299 passes completed in this game, while Sweden has 147 passes completed in this game. Corner kicks, we have 2 for Sweden, 1 for Spain. Free kicks, 5 for Spain, 4 for Sweden. It has actually been an even game, except for the passes. The ball possession has been favoring more to the Spanish girls. What if you are the coach? If you are the Swedish coach right now, what will you be telling the girls, in the dressing room?
Yeah, this is knockout stage. There's no second opportunity. So make use of every opportunity that comes your way. Most especially now, the accuracy, being clinical in front of goal. That is where the Swedish side need to work on. I will suggest distance shot from outside the team box, but the Swedish side, they have a very good goalkeeper. But there are some kind of ball that the goalkeeper cannot pick. If you are clinical and you can hang it from outside the team box, I think the goalkeeper will not be able to catch that. So if you try from a distance, since you are not getting opportunity to penetrate the defense of the Swedish for you to get a goal, so try distance shot from just some meters outside the team box, and you have to give those instructions to those who have that ability to take that shot from outside, and that is one way to beat the Swedish defense. Otherwise, you continue trying, you will not be able to enter.
You continue trying, not be able to enter. Don't forget, it's still the Premier Sport Fan Center, where we are giving the live commentary and live follow-up of the game. Like we always promise you, we will always be there for you wherever the match is, be it the Nigerian Professional Football League, be it the World Cup, even if it is the FIFA Female World Cup. We'll give you good numbers of games. And we've had lots of good engagements, when it comes to FIFA Female World Cup.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people have been part of it. They share their view with us, they comment, and we listen to them, and we make use of it. And some of them have some predicted, and they got it right. And that should tell you that a lot of fans are following up with the Female World Cup. Yeah. So it's a welcome development.
A lot of fans are following up with the Female World Cup. We hope that at the next Female World Cup, we'll have an African team, we'll get to the semi-final, possibly, make it straight to the final. And don't forget the Paris Olympics is around the corner just next year. Early next year, we'll be having the Paris Olympics, and our eyes will be on the female competition, whereby Canada are the defending champion. Let's see if an African team can actually, make a major upset. We'll go for a quick breather, and when we come back, it will be the second half of this game.
There are two chances, just like you said. Aubameyang was clear to give him the ball and you could have scored. At least you could have given, even if you didn't score, at least give him the ball and have a chance to score. And you will always so selfish, you play the ball out, understand?
Being a Chelsea fan, I was just kind of optimistic that we'll win because we've had a very bad form this season.
Clash of the Titans between the two London rivals, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Already Man City has overtaken Arsenal on the lead of the table with 13 matches played. A win for Arsenal today, Arsenal will automatically overtake Manchester City. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
Yeah. Okay. Chelsea is coming back, whether they like it or not. Once I just go to my this account. Chelsea has so many substitutes. Bench win matches. We're not talking about your starting 11. Now we have two starting 11. Anybody can play now. It's not about two. Let my 2 and 3 come back. Anybody can. Anybody collect from Chelsea. Anybody collect. This season may be awful, but I'm telling you.
Next
This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name is Benwe. Don't forget to subscribe. Alpha. It's okay. This is a strong Man fan. Versus Zurich. A win for both, automatic qualify. A draw, also qualify. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name is Benwe. Please don't forget to subscribe. The teams with the biggest fan zone in the world, Chelsea versus Manchester United. They're about to start their match. And it has been a lot of talking between the fans, Manchester fans and Chelsea fans. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
There are two chances, just as you said. Aubameyang was clear to give him the ball and he could have scored. At least he could have given, even if he didn't score, at least give him the ball and have a chance to score. And you will always so selfish, you play the ball out, understand?
Being a Chelsea fan, I was just kind of optimistic that we'll win because we've had a very bad form this season.
Clash of the Titans between the two London rivals, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Already Man City has overtaken Arsenal on the lead of the table with 13 matches played. A win for Arsenal today, Arsenal will automatically overtake Manchester City. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
Yeah. Okay. Chelsea is coming back, whether they like it or not. Once I'm not sure. I just go to my this account to say Chelsea has so many substitutes. Bench win matches. Not talking about your starting 11. Now we have 2 starting 11. Anybody can play now. It's all about 2. Let my 2 and 3 they come back. Anybody can. Anybody will collect from Chelsea. Anybody will collect. This season may be awful, but I'm telling you.
Next is
analysis of the match between Spain and Sweden. It's still 0-0, and on our screens here, right here, we can see the second half has actually begun. We've played 1 minute already of the next 45 minutes, so we have 45 minutes for both teams, to actually find a winner, and we are 45 minutes away. If the scoreline remains this way, we are 45 minutes away from going into 30 minutes of extra time. I still have with me in the studio, Solomon. Solomon, we saw the first half. How you rate the performance in the first half?
No, the first performance of the first half has been top notch, has been inspiring, has been capturing, and so I give it, it was a tight match, tactically tight, and both players knew that they have to be very careful, and that is what we have seen. The cautiousness of both sides not to consider, and it was a tough first half. So this second half, we hope to see a better second half.
Okay, the second half, we hope to see better performance from both teams. And don't forget that is the first attack, but that she was so slow to get in that, and Musovic got that covered for the Swedish national team. We've actually not seen any substitution from both managers, and that a bit shows that they are actually, okay with the performance from the girls in the first half. And I think we are also okay with the performance in the first half. They gave it their all. Just that both both team defense were actually up to the task, and that's why we couldn't get a goal in the first half. Yeah. Going into the second half, what do you think the coaches need to actually change to get that goal?
Well, what they need to do is to change. Tactics, 1, 2. For the Spaniard side, what they need to do, already when it comes to position-wise, they are good. They have actually dominated the position. When it comes to passing the ball, they are good. But when it comes to, link-up play between the midfielder and the striker, to create that chances, it has been so difficult because of the defensive formation of the Swedish side. So it becomes so difficult for them to score or for them to penetrate. So what they need to do, they need to increase one of the defender up front, and you have to overlap anyway, to increase one of the defender and create another chance to widen up the options for passing so that they can get through the defense. Or like I said before, distance shot with accuracy, they will get a goal.
Okay, they'll get a go, and don't forget, there's still a lot of players. We have the best player in the world, talking about the female best player in the world, Putellas. She's actually on the pitch of playing for Spain. We've not actually seen much from Putellas in this competition, and that is Sweden with an in-swing pass, but that has gone out of play for Spain goal kick. And I was talking about Alexia Putellas, you know, the current FIFA best player when it comes to female football. But you know, she hasn't really come to the party. Should we say it's due to the injury she coped for? You know, she was out for about 6 or 7 months, and she's just coming back, and we have her starting for Spain. But this hasn't really been her best performance at the FIFA World Cup. Sorry.
Of course, this has not been her best performance. You know, I'm very sure the injury must have taken a greater part of her, and she's just been cautious not to sustain the injury. Probably is not 100% healed yet. You know, it's not 100% healed, and you know, sometimes once you are injured, it takes you. Sometimes you are affected psychologically, and you are being careful not
for. That's when they try to
make
one.
Oh, there's no one
in particular. Can be dangerous, but there was nobody in the Spanish box who connect to that ball from the Swedish attacking line. You know, talking about the Sweden striker, we've not really seen much from Blackstenius. You know, that is not the performance she also gives at a club. Talking about Arsenal, she's always a go-to-go getter at Arsenal, but we've not really seen that from her in this competition. You know, she has found it hard. Even Rufo, that the Barcelona striker, has also find it hard. When I expect her, she'll actually find it easy playing against familiar foes here. But you know, it has really been hard for her. We've not really seen much from the two Swedish attackers in this game. Should it be a top-notch? Should it be due to a top-notch defending from the Spanish ladies, or we should say the strikers, talking about Rufo and Blackstenius, didn't just get it right in this competition?
No. It has to do with the brilliance of the defense of the Spanish side. They block their shine. You know, someone say, when I say they block their shine, like we were talking about the recovery rate of the Spanish defense, you know, so fast that they don't have that time to even think or move before they get to the ball. The Spaniards, La Roja, have already taken over the ball from the defense. So it is because of the style of the play that has actually affected the Blackstenius and Ilistad to you know, they are not able to outshine the defense of the Spain lady. Good chance there.
But the Spanish ladies were able to clear their lines, and there was an infringement in the box, and that will be, you know, a free kick for Spain. And you can see the Spanish goalkeeper Cali, she's actually looking, you know, relieved. And that was a dangerous up through pass into the box, but there was an infringement on the Spanish goalkeeper, and that will be having a goal kick. And Spain have actually started the play back and away from this game. We saw O'Neill yesterday talking about the penalties. He said the one of the referee chiefs in England told him that should have been a penalty for what's it called? It was his club name yesterday. Wolves. Yeah, he said one of the Premier League referee chiefs told him that was supposed to be a penalty. Talking about the last tackle from Nana on the what's it called, on the Wolves player yesterday.
Okay, the one if jump on the air and there was a contact, you know. You know, okay. So if you look at it to some extent, I was actually looking at the fact that being that he was already on the air before that contact, of course, you know, and well, you saw the VAR. There was a reshow of that very encounter, and when he lifted himself, the ball has not gotten to the Wolves striker, and I was this contact. Well, I don't see any reason why he should say it's a penalty. It's not a penalty to me. Okay. It's not a penalty. So it's not. To me, it was the right thing.
And back to this match, we are approaching the 54th minute of the game already. That means we've actually seen 8 minutes of action already in the second half, and both teams are still finding it hard to break each other. We really need to know what they have to do to actually break each other. One goal would be so much, you know, very, very much important to opening this game, because we can see that both teams are still trying to, you know, contain each other, and that is why these goals are not coming. We've always known the Spanish to be a high-scoring team, but they find it hard to score here today. You know, they've actually been doing it, they've been calling, they've been making a lot of calls, but it's so surprising how they've not had any shot, how they've had just one shot on target. You know, that's really not what we expect. No, they've had 0 shot on target in this game. You know, talking about the Spanish national team, for a team that has a high scoring rate and you have good strikers, to now have 0 shot on target, it speaks a lot.
Of course, it speaks a lot. That's to tell you the defense of the Swedish side. So, from inception, we all knew that they have one of the best defense and they have one of the best goalkeepers. So, goalkeeper who have actually kept good record. If you look at it, the defense is so disciplined, so compact, you know, and they know what they want to achieve, and they have already understudied the La Roja girls, you know, and
you can see the recovery rate, and that is Sweden with one for the attack. Let's see what's going to be. But Kylie has that covered, and that was a nice one from Rufo. Is that Rufo or Blackstenius? Sorry. And that's the first time I'm even seeing her in the second half. You know, she has been absent in this game. You know, the Spanish defense got her covered in this game, and that was a good one from her. But the Spanish goalkeeper was there to cover. Make a good cover of that, and it's Spain who are trying to attack right now. But you know, the Swedish defense, they've got all this covered. You know, they don't allow any space around their back, and we can see Hermoso is actually down. Should this be the last World Cup for Hermoso and Alexia Putellas? Do you think they need to leave right now and let the young girls, the upcoming girls, you know, take their spots?
Well, I think from what we are seeing in this World Cup, we see
and
that
in Sweden we are trying to take one, but the goalkeeper, you know, is very much reliable, and she got that covered. And you see, we can see in the second half, for the first 10 minutes we've seen in this second half, it has been Sweden who has been asking all the major calls of making the majors, you know, major inputs in the second half. They've actually dominated play for the past 10 minutes.
Yeah, actually, and that's one thing about the Swedish side. Their second half team, because when you look at their record, look at their statistics, you discover that out of the 22 matches they played so far, 17 goals scored and conceded was in the second half. Out of their 22 matches, 22 games played. So they are a second half team, and we expect to see them coming out. And if you look at the last 5 minutes, they have actually dominated play. They have been in the ones in the 18 box of the La Roja, and that is the only way you can score. When you create chances, when you try to play the ball in the 18 box of your opponent, definitely that opportunity will definitely show itself.
Okay, that opportunity is definitely going to show itself, and we can see the first substitution in this game, as Spain already made a substitution in the second half. Let's see what she's actually going to bring to the play for the Spanish ladies. It's still 0-0 as early as 56 minutes. Both teams are still trying to break each other, but that hasn't just really worked for both of them. You know, they've actually played each other very well in this game. There's no way you're going to see this game and say it's actually a bad game for both teams.
No, it has been a tough game. It has been a balanced game. The both teams have been playing, trying to, break the defense. And now you can see it is the Spanish side who is trying to counter. Just one woman, no options, and the options are coming right now.
And a chance! With that bit of first goal, was the Swedish defense are good at sweeping, and they swept that off. You know, and Sweden were trying to now counter. You know, we've seen an end-to-end football. You know, an interesting game. We can see that both teams are up to the task. You know, they've given us end-to-end attacking. You know, attacking powers. We've seen that in this game. Defensively, we've seen it in this game. How much they are very good at the back, and that is why both teams are one of the lowest conceded teams that have conceded goals in this competition. And it's showing off on them. You know, we are seeing it to them already.
Oh, no doubt, the game is one of the most balanced games. Looking at this both side, you can match themselves. When it comes to attacking forward players, they are there. When it comes to defend the midfield, it is compact. Right now, it will be difficult for anybody to predict who is going to win this match. But I'm beginning to see that the Swedes have something in stock for the second half. Probably they may take the day. They may be the first to hit the net. And that's my thoughts.
Okay, that is the start, and we can see Hermoso, she's down again in the second half, and that's twice she will be going down, and that is looking like a bad hit on the Spanish legend, talking about Hermoso. She has actually, paid her dues to the Spanish national team, and it will really be, an icing on the cake if she happens to win this competition. If we have a final between Sweden and England, or Spain and England, what do you think is going to take
this both team? Anybody that play England will defeat England one hand. Anybody that plays England, you beat England one hand. Either 2-1, 3-1. But I don't think England can stand any of these teams.
Wow, and talking about the substitution made by the Spanish national team, it is Paralula who came in for Putellas. Like I said in the halftime break, I wouldn't really see Putellas.
I was trying to say they are already aging, and I don't think you asked a question, but before I answer the question, a highlight moment came up, and we talked about it. You know, Putellas is already aging. You know,
yeah, she's on the other side of 30s right now.
Yeah, so for her coming to the next World Cup, she can just probably come as because the next World Cup will be in the next 4 years, right? She can just come as an inspirational player that will want to add inspiration to the player to encourage them, but not as. You know,
we know the Spanish national team. There are a lot of young players coming up. There's still Vicky Lopez, who is on the right, who is on the side, waiting to make it into the national team. I'm very sure Vicky Lopez will be going to the next World Cup. She's a fantastic player playing for Barcelona. You know, she's one of the talents. She was actually the best player at the Under-20 World Cup. Wow. So she's one player everybody's looking forward to. And we want to see her in the Spanish national team and see what she's actually going to bring to the board. Talking about the Spain national team, you know, the talent when it comes to talent, the Spanish have them in numbers. And we are currently on the 60th minute, which leaves us with just 30 minutes in the second half. And it's to Spain 0, Sweden 0.
Spain 0, Sweden 0. You know, when you talk about the young players coming up, you know,
that's Sweden with like Spain trying to attack, but that was a wayward pass. And let's see they're still in the box. Will that be the first goal for Spain? But no, that was a good defensive clearance from Swedish ladies. And you can see the player, she's asking, that's Bonatti, she's asking, what do we do? What do we do? What do we have to do special? What do we have to do again to break this Swedish back? But you know, it has really been hard for them in this game. They've tried everything, but they've been unable to break the Swedish at the back. Same thing for the Swedish. They find it hard, you know, to break the Spanish defense. You know, and that's one goal would be so much important to any of those two teams, because defensively they've shown that they can carry on for the next 90 minutes, you know, without conceding that goal.
And let's see Sweden in the team box now trying to create chance.
And they're still trying to create that opening. And let's see if that's going to be a pull-out. And it's finally a pull-out, but there's a Spanish player there who got that cover. Wow, that was a good takedown ball there for the Spanish players. And they are trying to cover. You look at the way this Swedes actually cover up and how they mark in twos. You know, once you're losing the first one, you can't lose the second. You can't you can't dribble the second person and they get the ball. You know, that's why their recovery rate is actually 18 seconds. That is, you know, that's actually remarkable. But you know, the Spanish are actually topping that with 8 seconds. You know, it shows how much what they say in their training. You know, once you're losing the ball, make sure you're getting the ball almost immediately. And that is why we are having them in the semi-final. You know, fantastic player. We can see another Spanish player, and it's the captain who is actually down there.
Oh, that should be a carded offense.
A bad tackle on the Spanish captain.
That should be a carded offense.
That's that should be a yellow card. That should be a yellow card. That was a bad tackle on the Spanish captain.
I'm very sure the VAR will have to call it to the attention of the referee, because that is a bad tackle. That is a stab on the Swede player. And
talking about the player, that is Olga Carmona, the Spanish captain. She plays for Real Madrid. And today we are trying to make use of the attack right now. Let's see if they're going to actually turn one into goal. You know, we've not really seen much of the crosses from the Swedish in this game, like we used to know. Sweden finally tried to create one.
Finally, that cross comes. Oh, nobody else.
It went beyond. It went above the face of goal. But Sweden are still in control of this ball, and they finally lost it to the Spanish ladies, who are going to, you know, turn in from the fence to attack. But they also lost it out to the Spanish defense. We'll be having a throw-in right now, and they'll be, you can see there's one thing you have to give it to the goalkeeper, Katal Koli. She has actually been fantastic for the Spanish team, you know. And if there's no how you're going to have a fantastic goalkeeper and you don't tell on your team, that's why they are in the semi-finals. That was a good save from her there, because that was going straight to the Swedish striker there, and probably that would have been the first goal in this game.
Now talking about that cross, there is something about, you know, extraordinary striker you get. Like what I saw with Blastenius now, she did not separate herself from the defender. When the cross came, she was still behind 3 defenders. What you need to do as a striker is to separate yourself from the defender, and the person crossing the ball, direct the ball to you. You will get the chance to score. But you were behind them, and it's very difficult for you to get that goal. So probably something she need to work on.
Okay, we can from the ball possession. We can see the Swedish are trying. That was a good one, but she couldn't connect and nodding. I heard her, sorry, to the goal post. And from the ball possession, we can see the Swedish are actually, they are actually growing into the game as minutes goes, as minutes pass. They are going into the game. Right now, we have Spain with a better percentage of ball possession with 61% of the ball possession, while Sweden has 39% of ball possession. Total shots, we have Spain with 5. Sweden with 3. Total shot on target, Sweden has 2, Spain still has 0 shots on target in this game. It shows that the attack is non-existent in this game.
It shows it's non-existent. It shows that they're not clinical. And I don't know what they need, like I said before. They need to test that goalkeeper. We know he's one of the best goalkeepers, but what makes the goalkeeper look so good is because of the defense.
Yeah.
And the defensive midfielders. It makes the goalkeeper look so good that they hardly have the opportunity to even take a distance shot, and they hardly have the opportunity to get to the 18 box of the Swiss lady, and that makes the goalkeeper look so good. Probably if opportunity come from this Spain lady to take a shot, it may not be so strong because they will not have that freedom to play the way they want.
Finally, will this be a Spain first goal? Let's see what they're going to make out of it. Will they be Spain first goal? But Sweden defense were there to cover that. She should be taking that shot. She had the opportunity of taking a hit as early, but she left it out, and that is going to be a Spain free kick in a dangerous position.
You know what?
And Mozo will actually fancy taking this.
What I want to give to the Swede defense is they know. Why? What's the name of that player? Spanish lady? Is it Ronaldo that entered?
Yes.
She held the ball in the 18 box, and what she was expecting a rough tackle, and once you get that rough tackle, it's a penalty. But you look at the Swedish lady; they were so careful. They were so careful not to have any contact with her leg. They were just after the ball. They were following her gradually, and before you know what's happening, she lost the ball.
Solomon, this is unlike the Spanish national team. They've played for 66 minutes and they've not been able to muster just one shot on target in this game. This is so much unlike the Spanish national team.
Yeah, unlikely. It is when somebody gives you food, you carry and swallow and eat, and you feel good. But once they don't give you that food, what will you do? So they are not giving them that opportunity to do it, and that is one thing I am picking from the Swedish lady. They are not giving them any opportunity. From the positioning is excellent. The positioning is excellent. The way they build their defense and married to the midfield defense also, it is good. And this is an opportunity for Spain to score. This is the only opportunity if she can utilize it very well.
The ball, let's see if she's going to curve this into the back of the net, and she's taking a step forward with this B, but it's out for a Sweden corner kick. Let's see, you can see she's actually looking, dejected. She was looking dejected at herself because she believes she should have done better. And that should be a Spain corner kick. And let's see what the ref is actually going to decide there. It's actually a corner kick, no doubt.
Actually, a corner kick. You see the wall of the Swedish ladies were able to.
It's actually hard to break. We've seen from first half they've been finding it hard to break the Swedish wall. But you also have to give it to the Spanish defense. Also, they've also been in this game. They've actually made life difficult for the Swedish attackers because they've looked like non-existent in this game, just like what we've seen from the Spanish strikers also, and that is Sweden trying to clear their lines, and it's still 1-on-1. Let's see if they're going to, but the Spanish are so wise enough to go back to find their goalkeeper. It is still Spain 0, Sweden 0, and we are approaching the 68th minute of this game, which leaves us with 22 more minutes to play. 22 more minutes for both teams to find a winner in this game or take us to extra time and possibly penalty shootouts.
22 minutes is a very long time. It's a very big time, and within 22 minutes, if 2 minutes is enough. 2 minutes is enough to make a difference. 22 minutes is too much to make a difference. But just a goal here will change the face of the game.
Okay, goal here will change the face of the game. Let's see who's going to get that goal. And out of looking for that goal, this is Spain trying to make 1 or 2 into the connection into the box, but they actually lost that, and it's a Sweden turn to actually attack. It's end-to-end game, and that's what makes this game interesting. Even though we've not seen a goal in this game, but you have to give it to both teams how much they play, how much they attack at each other, without fear. And this is one thing we are complaining about African teams. You know, there's no, you can say this game is an open game. There's no respect for anybody.
Yeah.
Both teams are taking it to themselves. And unlike when we have our African sisters playing, you know, when they first give the opponent the respect, like, oh, this is a big team, let us respect them. And that is one thing we do say on this program. If you want to actually dine with the best team, you have to them the respect and take the ball to them. Football is always about scoring. You have to score the goals, which will take you to the next round. And out of looking for that goals, we are approaching the 70th minute and still looking for the first goal in this game. Will it be Spain? Will it be Sweden who got the first goal? And if that first goal is coming for any of these two teams, I'm very sure they'll be so happy because these players, they all want to play in the final. Do you know what it takes to play in the final of a competition?
You know, that's it. You know, 4 times Sweden has played in the semi-final. 4 times. They knocked out 3 times. And let's see if they will change that narrative. And do it. That's to tell you how good they are for you to get to the semi-final 4 times and you lost 3 times and you just won once out of the 4 times. That's a very good.
That's it's not a goal. It's not a goal. Wow, Redondo should be doing better there. You know, she had all the chances, but still, it's not Spain shot on target. Wow,
it's not Spain shot on the target.
Redondo should be doing better there. And this was almost the first time, you know, they got one right against the Swedish backline. But Redondo should be doing that. Was so close. That was so close for a Spain opener and the first goal in this game. She was right there in front of the ball. But that was a good defensive defensive cover from Anderson there. She covered that very well. Good one for Spain, and it shows how much the Swedish defense needs to, you know, they need to get themselves right and not lose concentration. Because if you are losing concentration against Spain, it's very hard, and they will eat you where it matters most.
All right, that ball is one ball that you don't need to miss because that was one of the clearest. That is the best chance they've had in this encounter today, and I see no reason why she would do. I will not blame her as a player because at every particular point in time when you are playing close to the team boss, you know, there is this spirit that comes to you. You are always in a high mood. You understand? You are always in a high mood.
Spain still trying to create an opener, but the up is not coming in. It's not coming in. And we have overturn there in Sweden. We are trying to attack right now. Let's see. And there's a good one, but there's a turnover there. And it's back in the Spain corners. And Spain are currently attacking the Swedish. You know, it has really been an end-to-end game. If you're not following this commentary, you are actually missing. It has been an interesting game. You know, interesting 71 minutes. We have 19 more minutes to go. We're approaching the 72nd minute of this game. And in Spain, we are trying to make initiate an attack, but that was a wayward pass. How we rate this Spanish substitution, you know, since coming in, talking about the player the Spanish team actually brought into this game? She has actually been fantastic to me. I'm talking about Paraluelo.
Yeah, Paraluelo, she has been good. You know, I think she's the one who gave that cross to.
Wow, that was so close.
She was one that gave that pass.
So close doesn't get it. Doesn't get it.
She was the one who gave that pass. I think she has been able. She came in another substitution. She came in with a new flow, and that has given Spain another shot off target, not on target. And with 1, 2, 3, they were able to get it if they continue.
Spain has already made another substitution. And before I come to that substitution, before this competition, both teams actually played a friendly match, and that game ended 1-1. So I think they're familiar with each other playing a full-time draw. And now we're in the 73rd minute of this game. It's still Spain 0, Sweden 0. Sweden are yet to make a substitution in this game. We're approaching the 75th minute already.
You know,
do you think there's no need for them to make a substitution in this game?
Of course, like we said, there are always reasons to make a substitution if there is need. But I've not seen in a situation like this, and female, definitely that you must have tired legs, and you may want to change tactics. You know, that is, you now have to do your substitution. But I think maybe she is waiting in the 75th minute to make substitution. And that substitution, I'm very sure, is going to be very, very massive. And he's coming with a new tactics. Okay,
let's see the Spanish substitution. That is Navarro who is coming in, or who came in for Redondo. You know, hope she's not turning out to be another, you know, impact substitute. Because, that was, you know, she couldn't connect her pass to it straight at the goalpost. It was just out of play. And that is Mariona. She should actually be doing better there. We are approaching the 74th minute already. The Spain 0, Sweden 0. Solomon, what do they need to do to break each other?
Now, if you look at what
Roger Velda, George Velda have done. That's the Spanish coach. He now brought in. He took out Rondondo, which one of their talisman. A lot of people will not wish that. A lot of people who saw this match will say, she would have been left in because she's the only one who is trying. If that chance was missed by her, that the best chance they had so far, she was the one who missed that chance. A lot of people will have said, okay, give her more time to, but there is no time right now. The coach has to change her and bring in. And if you look at it, it's looking when it comes up front to the end of the Swedish side. You find out that the strike,
Sweden on the attack. Let's see with the cross, with it be the first goal, but the Spain goalkeeper got that covered. You know, both goalkeepers they've actually been impressive in this game, no doubt, from their reflexes, sharp reflexes, and how they come out for crosses. You know, it has been top notch for the female football. And we have had an eventful game. 74th minute, and we're approaching the 75th minute. It is still Spain 0, Sweden 0. Spain made 2 substitutions already in this game, while Sweden are yet to make a substitution in this game.
Talking about the goalkeepers, they've not really been tested in this very encounter. You know, if you look at the 2 shot on goals, Sweden. Right now we
can see Sweden. They are already ready. 2 players to be substituted, and like you rightly said, in the 75th minute, we might be seeing Sweden make 2 substitutions, and right here we have seen them making 2 substitutions already. They'll be making 2 substitutions.
Right, 2 substitutions. That is a technical approach from the coach. He's going to change the tactics. He's going to bring in more bite, and you can see the Swedish attacking from the right side. A cross with a goal. That is one of the best chances. She shouldn't be missing that.
Yeah, that's one of the best chances. But that cross also went above her head. You know, it was a taller cross. They couldn't measure her head very well. But that was a good chance created there by the Swedish ladies. And we have Spain who are trying to eat on the counter. But this should be an easy one for Musovic, who is going to defend that. But she finally let that out for a throw-in. She doesn't want to. She didn't want to let anything.
You don't want to take any chances.
Wow, that was an overweighted pass from the Swedish, and let's see that's an offside. It will be advantage Sweden right now. 76 minutes. We're approaching the 77 minutes, which leaves us with 13 more minutes. You know, this match has extra time written on it right now.
I still believe there's going to be a goal in this match. This is a 14 minutes left.
Black Stenius and Reynard, the JRK are going out right now. Both are actually they've not really been at their best today. And let's see what the substitutes are actually going to bring to this game. And we'll be seeing Glovist and Shonov coming in for this Swedish. Let's see what they're actually going to bring into the game. And let's see if they can change the game for the next 13 minutes. It's very much important one of these teams gets, the winner. I'm very sure both of them don't want to go into extra times because, they have a final to prepare for on Sunday. And, playing that extra 30 minutes will be a lot of fatigue. It's going to bring a lot of fatigue into the players.
Yeah, of course, it's going to bring a lot of fatigue into the players. And I'm very sure none of the team want to get into extra time because it is not good for them. Because extra time, after extra time penalty, it's nobody's game. It's nobody's game. Anybody can win at that moment. So the little time they have now, they should be used. And I expect, with the substitution made by the Swedish side now, I expect a different flow of football. Because we've seen it in the past. As I said before, they are second half team. And the opportunities and the advantages to the height of the Swedish lady, Sweden, is they are taller than the Spanish side. And they can make use of the height. It's an opportunity for them. Get the ball to the wings, cross it, and use your height to head the ball. And before you know what's happening, you get the goals.
Before you know what happened, you get the goal and still trying to create an opening. That is the Spanish ladies, trying to 1 or 2 crosses and still an end-to-end game. Oh, what's the Swedish defender was clever enough to cut that out. Sweden who are trying to create 1 or 2 attack right now, but Spain are still in control of the ball, and they'll be going back to their goalkeeper, Kali. Don't forget, you can be a part of this conversation by dropping your message or dropping your take into our comments section on the live chat, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll offer you the very best of sports commentary around the world, and that's Spain who are trying to attack right now, but that will be going out for Sweden throwing. 78 minutes, we are approaching 79 minutes. It's still goalless draw, Suleiman.
78, approaching the 80th minute, any moment from now, it's still goalless. And, I still believe there's going to be a goal in this match. is we still have 10 minutes to play. And with 10 minutes, anything can happen. Let's see what the new, the both sides have actually made substitution, brought in new players, fresh leg. Let's see what they bring to the party. Right now, I've not been able to understand what they are trying to do. Let's give them a little time. Let's understudy what they want to do and see how the goal is going to come. But so far, I want to give it to both teams. They have been playing each other from end to end, as you say. When you attack, I attack. You defend, I defend. You know, that is what they have been doing. And we hope that there will be an error somewhere and we'll get the goal.
The only thing we've lost in this game is just the goals. We've seen a lot of tactical approach, a lot of skillful approach, a lot of skillful plays in this game. But the game as only, the only thing that has eluded us in this game has just been the goals which haven't come in. We're approaching the 80th minute already. The time is fast ticking. The time is fast running down. 10 more minutes to play in the second half. 10 more minutes for them to find a winner. Or let's see if it's going to actually be going straight into the extra time. And that's the Spanish. Oh, that was a wayward shot. And still the ball is still in control. It's still the Spanish who are in control. But the Swedish girl that's covered, I think they should actually be changing their tactics from playing the up through ball and make use of the down through ball, because these girls are actually tall. Every cross is coming in from the Spanish are easily dealt out with by these Swedish ladies. And Spain who has a throw in right now, and they're taking their ball, they're taking their time, trying to find who to make that throw too. And any moment from now, the ball should be back in play, and it's actually back in play right now in Spain, who are still attacking. Like Yemi will always say, attacky. But today, all the attacky hasn't led to a goal in this game.
And that is the cross. That should be the chance. And that is a goal! That is a goal for Spain. And that is that not the substitute?
Yeah, that's the substitute. The first substitute from the Spanish. And they haven't seen about their substitute coming in and getting goals. Paralulo gets us the first goal in this game, and you can say the coach is feeling it. He's feeling this vibe. That's a fantastic take from her. That is a good one from her, a good take, and you can see it on her face. She's very much happy. Good goal for her. She got the goal from the bench also against Netherlands in the last game, and yes, she is today again getting one goal for Spain in the late embers of the game. It's actually Spain 1, Sweden 0 now. Finally. After 80 minutes of playing so much, they actually let one away. Wow, that was a good take, in between the Swedish defense legs, and she took her corner very well. Good goal from her, a fantastic one, a goal any striker in the world will be so proud of. Fantastic goal for Spain, and they have just 10 minutes, with faith. 10 minutes with God on their side, they'll be praying to see this through, because it will be their first time getting to the female final, and lot of things are inspiring them to win this tournament. They will complete a full turnaround, full female competition this year. The female World Cup, the female under-20 World Cup, and the female under-17 World Cup. And there's a VR check there. Let's see if it's going to be an offside with VR. We're cancelling that. Let's see. We've seen some goals
but there was no show of offside.
I think there was an offside there. The first Spanish player looks like she was in an offside position. We are in the 82nd minute. I'm sure the Spanish will actually be praying that is not going to be. And that has been confirmed as a goal for Spain. It is Spain 1, Sweden 0 right now. I'm sure this game will be exploding. It will be exploding. The next 8 minutes will actually be interesting to see. Talking about the player, Paralilio, she came in for Putalas in this game. We've seen players who came in for Putalas in this competition, gave a good account of themselves. We saw, what's her name? We saw Rododo. The first time we saw Rododo in this competition was when she came in for Putalas and got 2 goals off the substitution bench. Good one for Spain, And that's one thing about, when you are good, and that's what we're saying about what's it called? That's what we're talking about in the Manchester United game versus Wolves yesterday. It's one thing for you to create chances. It's one thing for you to take it, because when the good team get that chance, they're going to score. This is just the Spanish first shot on target, and and it turned into a goal for Spain. And they have 7 minutes, against fate. 7 minutes for them to take this game, and let's see if the defense will be letting them out. There's a chance for Spain, but it will be off for a Spain goal kick.
I said when a goal is scored, it changed the face of the game.
Yeah.
And now we are beginning to see the face of the game has changed. And in the next 7-8 minutes now, we're going to see another different kind of football. Football rage with emotion, football rage with frustration, football with anxiety. We begin to see different attitude, and that is where your attitude come to test. When in a situation like this, when you can see the captain of the Swiss side, she will say fuck after considering that goal. That is to tell you that she's breathing a new spirit, and we are going to see it in the field of play.
Okay, they are breathing a new spirit, and we're seeing that in them. And talking about Parelio, the goal scorer, she was one of the players that actually won the FIFA Under-20 World Cup with the Spanish national team. She's just 20 and she plays for Barcelona. A lot of Barcelona.
Oh, yeah.
These are the talents we're talking about.
Half of the players of Spain are from Barcelona. Half of them.
Half of the team are from Barcelona. When you are actually a good team like Barcelona, you have to have all the girls coming from them. And don't forget, it's goal for Spain. If I'm not mistaken, is that it? It's goal for Spain in 13 appearances. That is a good one for her. For a 20-years-old player, yes, 8 goals out in 13 appearances for her. Good one for her, she's just 20.
The Spain goalkeeper is down.
I hope there is no time wasting. They need to lecture her that there's no time wasting at the FIFA World Cup, because the number of minutes you actually wasted will be added on at the end of this game. It's Spain 1, Sweden 0, and we're approaching the 86th minute already. And you can see the referee on our screen is talking to these players. You have to take it easy. You have to be calm. You've been calm from the beginning. Right now it's about psychology. Getting into the girls, let them know you have to take it calm. Play like you're not the one leading. Take it to the Spanish, to the Swedish ladies, like you've been doing for the past 86 minutes of this game. And let's see, hope Kali will be able to continue this game.
All right, we hope she's Katerina Kali. We hope that she's able to continue this game. And there is something I think the players should understand. I don't know whether she's actually injured or she's trying to waste time. But I think it's high time players begin to realize, and their coaches begin to tell them, like, look, anytime you try to waste will be added. So there's no need of wasting time any longer with the new rules. There's no need, because if you waste 2 minutes here, they will add it to the play. So that's what you are running for. You see, meet it ahead. So I think it's high time for players to stop time wasting, situations. So that, but there are tactical way you can employ this time wasting that will not be counted, but not this way that for you sleeping on the floor and expecting to be picked out by the medical team.
Okay, there's no need to waste time, and you can see she's back on her feet and starting to take that corner kick. I think she just tried to take that for the team, release and lose a lot of pressure they are actually facing. It's not easy. It's not easy. They have 5 minutes. They have about 4 minutes, to play this game, and let's see if fate, a miracle is going to be on their side. They are on the verge of qualifying for the final of the Female World Cup. 4 more minutes for Spain to get that confirmation. And don't forget, the last 2 goals in this competition has actually coming in the dying minutes. They got that last goal against Netherlands in the dying minutes, and yet they are scoring, in the last 10 minutes of the game. Whoever they're going to face in the final, they have to be very much careful and note how dangerous Spain can be in the dying embers of the game.
All right, they look good to go for the final, but it's not over yet. The match is still on, and we don't know how many additional minutes.
And
that
is a goal!
I say, what a moment!
What a moment! Wow!
What a moment! This is the kind of semi-final we want to see. You can see the quality of play. You can see the anxiety. You can see the fight. Now you score me, I score you. You attack me, I attack you. That is what we get here. There is no underdog. This is actually the stage for the bigger names.
Oh, this is actually the stage for the bigger names, and we have to be preparing for an extra time. 30 more minutes we might be preparing for in this game. Let's see. Wow, that was a good take from the striker. They left our defense. They opened up their defense. Talking about the Spanish. Good one from Arzelina there, and a good striker. That was a fantastic take.
Well placed. Well placed. Look at that.
The keeper was left in no man's land there. It's now game back to 1-1. Spain 1, Sweden 1, and it's game on for both teams. Wow!
And you can see the joy in the face of
crazy 3 minutes. Crazy 3 minutes we've seen.
You can see the joy in the face of the Swede coach and in the face
And
of
that's
the
a corner kick
players.
to Spain.
I'm just imagining myself to be in their position now. How relieved they will be for the next minutes because they are back. So it's an opportunity for them to now correct their mistake by not giving Spain any opportunity to score again. Okay. And it's an opportunity for Spain now to try again and score so that they can take the day.
All right, don't worry, we'll make you the next Nigerian coach. And this is where Spain can actually be dangerous.
What a semi-final!
Wow!
What a semi-final!
Did you just hear what I said before our shot came in? That is where Spain can be dangerous.
2 goals in 2 minutes.
We've seen this goal. We've seen Spain got this goal against Zambia, whereby it's actually a goal from this is actually what happens on the training pitch and brought into the main match. I'm sure Musovic will be so disappointed in herself there, that she allowed that, she let that into the net. Fantastic goal from the Spanish national team. You can see the good team play. I saw that coming. I said they can be dangerous.
Oh, what a placement!
And they took that chance. What a placement! It's looking like a replica of the goal they scored against our sisters. Talking about what's it called? Zambia in the group stage. Good take from her. Oh,
anytime I go home, and maybe I see my last son, my last boy, talking about sport, Daddy, these people won. My last son will not say, Daddy is Ojoro. That goal, it was the pole that helped them to score it. That is, anytime there was you hit the pole and enter the, you say that pole helped them score. It's so funny anyway.
Wow, that's how you respond. To take this game for the first 80 minutes, it didn't give us any goal, and we are on the verge of having, we have 2 goals already. That was a hit on the goalkeeper, and I think VAR should actually be checking that. That might just be a yellow card to the Spanish ladies there, and to the Swedish ladies there. Kali shouldn't be wasting time, and please, she needs to get up. She needs to get up as soon as possible.
And we're looking at the additional time. 7 minutes is still a long time. And it's still a long time because like I said it's not over yet. There's still goal. I said there's goal in this match. And now we are getting 3 goals in 2. We got 2 goals in 2 minutes because the Sweden equalized in the 88th minute, and Spain now put another one in the 90th minute. That is fantastic. That is what you get when champions play.
That's what you get when champions play. And don't forget, this is the first time Spain will be getting to the semi-final stage of the FIFA Women's World Cup. And will it be another lamentation for the Swedish ladies? And you can see the Spanish girls, they are up, trying to motivate their players. We have just 6 more minutes to play in the second half. 6 more minutes for us to defend. Will it be Sweden getting one more goal in the second half?
And that's a protest.
The players protesting for an handball there. Let's see if the referee is going to check that. We're sure VAR is going to be checking that. And let's see Sweden who are trying to play more into the back line of Spain right now. And they have a chance to cross that into the net. And they choose to cross that. And it's way back now. Let's see if the VAR is going to be checking that for a possible penalty. 2 minutes has been played out of 7 minutes in the second half. We have 5 more minutes to go. 5 more minutes for Spain to be true to the finals. And you can see with that. Oh, no,
that was no contact. That was no penalty. It's a nil. It's a nil.
There's no contact there. It's play on. 5 more minutes to go. And Spain, with the way Sweden are throwing everything at Spain right now, we might actually see a 3rd goal from Spain.
Well, let's keep watching. I think the 2.5 they've gotten in this match is good. And they've also gotten goal. And it's about to get a straight win too. And there's some people who did correct scores.
I never saw 3 goals coming in this game. In the last 10 minutes of this game, it has really been explosive. And that is Sweden who are trying to create one, but the Spanish got that covered and it went straight into the Spanish goalkeeper Zan, who actually take all our time. That's Rofo, the Barcelona striker. She didn't really come to the party today. We didn't really see her in this game. Talking about the game, we are approaching the dying embers of the game already, and that goal was scored by Olga Carmelia. That is, I'm talking about the Spanish captain. She was the one who scored that goal, Carmona Olga. She scored the 2nd goal for the Spanish national team, and they are about 4 more minutes to play in the second half. 4 minutes away from them getting this win, and a familiar victory for Spain. They've actually been good in this competition. They only lost 1, and that only loss came against a fantastic Japan inside. It was just unfortunate that Japan will be sent out of this competition by Sweden. But here we are, Spain doing it against the Swedish national team. But there's still a lot of time to play in this competition. We still
I can see the battle.
It's still a battle in the back line, but there's an infringement, and the referee will be blowing in favor of the Spanish national team. The referee got this game covered, and you can see she's actually controlling the game.
If the Swede player protesting, if the Swede player protesting had continued talking, she would have gotten a yellow card.
Yeah.
I saw it in the face of the referee. That was the next thing she wanted to do, and the player left immediately. Was there any contact?
There was actually a push there. Yes, there was a push. There was an infringement here. And you can see Spain trying to make another substitution, and it's the number 8 talking about Mosso. About the number 8 will be the one going out, and that is Caldente going out. She has actually been fantastic in this game, no doubt. She had a couple of chances to get a goal, but she was just left out by the brilliance of the Spanish. And we can see Gonzalez coming in, and that is another attacking substitution. When you're making attacking substitution, even when you're leading late into the game, it shows about the mentality, elite mentality of the Spanish national team, and that is parallel, who is actually making another input, and it's Spain who are trying to make another opening, create another opening through, and let's see what they're going to make out of it. But the Swedish actually cleared their lines, and Sweden were actually trying to turn over and make another attack. But Spain were able to clear the lines for a corner kick. We're in the 5th minute, approaching 6 minutes, 2 more minutes to go of regulation time. 2 more minutes for Spain, to find their way to the final of this competition. 2 more minutes for Sweden to open another book of lamentation. 4 times they've got to the semi-finals. 3 times they've been unable to get to the finals. They'll actually be eating on themselves because they felt this would have been the best chance for them to win the FIFA, Female World Cup. And we'll likely be having first entrance into the final in this year's competition. We have England, Australia, and now Spain. These 3 have never been to the final, and they have the opportunity of making it to the final this year.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. That would be brilliant. That would be
Spain with the last attack of this game. Well, let's see what they're going to make of that.
Nice, a goal kick.
Fatigue already came in, and that's going to be a goal kick to the Swedish ladies. We are in the 6th minute of 7 minutes additional time. 1 more minute to go. 1 more minute for Spain to actually hold on to their lead. 1 more minute for Sweden to find that late winner. Let's see who is going to hold on to it. And that's Spain with the last attack. Will it be a goal? But the defense got that covered, and Musovic got that, and she's going to lead an attacking courage for Sweden right now. They are actually throwing everything into the attack.
In the past 3 minutes, they've not been able to cross to the team box of the Swedish side. It's like they've improved their defensive style. And it's a corner kick.
And it's a dangerous one. It's a dangerous one for.
That should be the last play.
I think there's an
it was not awarded. It was not given.
There's an infringement here. Yes, there was a push there. And you can see she's not having that.
That's the frustration.
Talking about Aslani. She actually plays for Juventus. She's not having that. She believes that wasn't a push.
No, that wasn't a push.
There was a push. I think there was a push.
That wasn't a push.
There. That's why she's a footballer. And we're currently approaching 7th minute already of additional time. Let's see if the referee will be having a final whistle as we approach the 7 minutes, or she's going to allow play till the 59th second.
Any moment from now.
Any moment from now, we should be seeing the final whistle. And Spain are trying to clear their lines and push the ball back into the Swedish, and Spain with the counter. Let's see if this is going to be the last attack of this game. And finally, we have a throw for Sweden, who will actually be interested in taking a early one. You can see the Spanish players up. You can see the coach
looking at the time.
He's up. Everybody is checking the time, and you can see the Swedish coach is telling his players, go deep into the box, go deep into the half.
Cross. Is anybody there? No.
The goalkeeper got that covered, and that should be the last action of this game. That should be the last action of this game. She has actually been fantastic in this game, no doubt, and she will be, she'll be a contender for the.
And that is the final whistle. Spain. It is Spain who is in the final. What a game! This is the kind of game I like watching. This is a fantastic game. This is one of the best.
You can see the emotions there. You can see the emotions coming out. The players are letting out their emotions. You can see how happy they are. They are true to the finals of the FIFA Women's World Cup, and they'll be awaiting the winner of England and Australia to know who is actually going to make it to the final. It's actually been impressive. It's actually been interesting to see Australia make it to the final and play the final, on home ground. And looking at the antecedents, how Australia made it to the semi-final of this competition. They were at a point on the brink of going out of this competition in the Nigerian group. They had to wait until the last day to get their confirmation to make it to the second round. And here they are in the semi-finals already. And you can see the Spanish players, they are looking dejected, you know. They've been in the semi-final 4 times, and 3 times they've been unable to make it to the final. And here they are in the 5th one right now, making it 4 times they've been to the semi-final, and 4 times they're out. They've not be able to challenge for the top honors. Wow, fantastic game of football, no doubt.
Wow, a fantastic football, no doubt. We are, in fact, this one, I'm so impressed with what I saw here today. I want to give it to both teams. It's not, Sweden went out not because they are not good. They are good. It's just that sheer brilliance and some little tactical input by George Vilda, the coach of the Spanish side, was able to make the difference. And in fact, I congratulate Spain for being for the first time to qualify for the semi-final, first time to be in the final. That is good. I also want to congratulate Sweden. I think they are third in FIFA ranking. That means they've actually lived up to expectation. 5 semi-final, 4 times they are out, and that's to tell you they've been consistent when it comes to the female football. I also want to greet the Spanish side because prior to this match, prior to this World Cup, they had issues, and at the point they were criticizing George Vilda for his training method, and unable to manage the players. Those were the accusations against him, and some players protested, and they dropped about 15 of them after they reconciled. And here we are seeing that is why sometimes it is good for war before peace. And a war that comes, but you can avoid war sometimes. But this kind of war is good, so that you understand yourself for the peace. And now they are yielding the result. They are in the final of the Women's World Cup for the first time in fact, since the inception of female football in Spain.
Well, talking about war, it's never in the words of FIFA. And, you remember the war in Ukraine and Russia is why Russia are not playing.
Not that type of war. Not that type of war.
Okay, and that's about how much you can take on today's edition of our live coverage. Join us tomorrow morning for an interesting match between England and Australia. Till we come your way tomorrow, it's bye for now.